Alrighty guys, we're back for Mono Green Aggro, and this is a Dragonstorm Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We have 3 Surrak, Elusive Hunter, 3 mana, 4/3 legendary creature. This spell can't be countered. Nice. Also has trample. Nice. And then also, whenever a creature you control or a creature spell you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, draw a card. Beautiful stuff. Punishing the opponent for targeting our things is probably pretty important when we're seeing so much removal, and for that matter, counter spells too. So, how about some more new cards? We have 3 Herd Heirlooms. 2 mana artifact, you can tap it, add 1 mana of any color, spend this mana only to cast a creature spell. So, helping us ramp into our chunky top end, but sometimes, more importantly, just get multiple things down on the same turn. Also has a bottom ability, you can tap it until end of turn. Target creature you control with power 4 or greater gains trample, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Awesome stuff. More new cards. We have all 4 Dragon Snipers. It's a 1 green mana 1/1. Vigilance, Reach, Death Touch. Beautiful stuff, man. I love all 3 of those keyword abilities, and it's going to pair nicely with bite spells like Hard Hitting Question, making the cut as a 4 of in here for a very good reason. Removal's important. I love that this hits Planeswalkers as well. Should be excellent in here. Now, also pairing well with Dragon Sniper is just things that boost the Dragon Sniper. So 3 Innkeeper's Talent, for example. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Also, for this build, protecting our creatures further with level 2 could really come in handy, where permanents you control with counters on them have Ward 1. We have more ways to protect our creatures, but also put +1/+1 counters on things with all 4 Snakeskin Veil. Should be excellent in here. I'm telling you what, guys, the more you boost the Dragon Sniper, like a 4/4 Vigilance, Reach, Death Touch, all of a sudden, it's starting to get pretty scary, and I don't think it's going to be unheard of at all to get this up to a 4/4, which is actually pretty important. So that way you can utilize the bottom ability on Herd Heirloom as well. Give it trample and then also continue to draw too. So yeah, I think it's going to be excellent in here. Anyways, what else do we got? We got all 4 Llanowar Elves also helping us just ramp in general. Should be pretty important. All 4 Pawpatch Recruit, fitting the counter theme, just being an incredible creature. Did I go over Pawpatch Recruit already, or did I just think I went over it in my head or something? Well, anyways, Pawpatch Recruit in here as a 4 of. It does not need an introduction anyways, so we also have more protection with a Defend the Rider. Target permanent you control gains hexproof or indestructible until end of turn, but maybe you don't want to choose that one. Maybe you choose the bottom ability. Create a 1/1 pilot. The pilot ability not doing anything in here, but an instant speed creature could really come in handy, huh? Okay, how about that top end? We have a couple Surrak the Hunt Caller, 4 mana, 5/4. With Formidable here. Also a legendary creature, right? Like the other Surrak. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if creatures you control have total power 8 or greater, target creature you control gains haste until end of turn. Hopefully it's all too easy to utilize that haste. Now, the actual top end, we have 4 Agonasaur Rex acting as even more protection for the build in even more ways to plug +1/+1 counters onto things as well, with that cycling ability, but also just being an awesome chunky top end creature. Got a couple Defiler of Vigors here on the top end. Not going to take the time to go over it right now. We'll talk more about it in the final thoughts, and hopefully we showcase it in some of the matches today too. 22 total forest is hopefully enough, and no honorable mentions. At the very least, what should have made the cut as an honorable mention? Let me know down in the comments, because I feel like as far as Mono Green Aggro goes, we probably could have filled this sideboard full of cards we could have potentially played with here, so... Okay, guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, see how we do. Okay, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? I'm expecting a lot, dude. I think this is going to be an excellent one, but, but man, the meta is brutal. And technically I built around the meta though, because we're seeing so much removal because people are forced to play with removal because the mice deck lists are so fast, right? So just trying to punish the opponents for removing our things, or at the very least, trade out our cards when the opponent removes our things, right? With the Surrak, so. Okay, right, yeah, we keep this. I feel like this would be a weird mulligan, right? Excuse me, guys. Yeah, if we get to keep Llanowar Elves around, we'll have a turn 2 Dragon Sniper and an Innkeeper's Talent, so even if we don't draw something else to play, that's a pretty good line of play. And if we see mana for the next 2 turns, I'd call that pretty unlucky because we only got 22 forests packed in, so. All right, we'll go ahead and pause the recording until, oh, the opponent dropped the mulligan. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, opponent. I feel like we don't see the opponent's mulligan very often, right? Or maybe I just don't pay any attention. Well, either way, if we do see mana off the top, we will be able to level up the Innkeeper's Talent a couple times too, which I would not mind. Like an early level 3 Innkeeper's Talent would actually be pretty disgusting. What we got to watch out for, though, is Get Lost is still played everywhere, so. All right, the opponent has made their decision. Let's see if we get to keep the Llanowar Elves around for the turn and have an excellent turn too. River Pyroverge. Oh, Swiftspear. Okay. Llanowar Elves sticking around. Ooh, Agonasaur Rex. I like to see that. All right, let's dump our hand as promised. Well, maybe with Agonasaur Rex, maybe I should just go for the Llanowar Elves instead of the Dragon Sniper. Nah, Dragon Sniper trade into the Swiftspear is a little better than the ramp, I would say, right? Or maybe we don't have to trade. Maybe we can keep the Dragon Sniper around. We'll see what their turn 2 looks like. Devon Reef, okay. Yeah, if we were anticipating a trade no matter what, then we'd want to go counter onto Llanowar Elves, right? I mean, it's unlikely. It's pretty unlikely that it's like first strike, right? So we might as well take that trade. So if I was anticipating the trade no matter what, we would have went counter onto Llanowar Elves, but I wasn't. So there was also a possibility where they just didn't want to swing there too. So yeah, Swiftspear's out of the equation. No roll on the board for the opponent. I think that's pretty good. Okay, we do have Agonasaur Rex cycling open, but I think it'll be a little better if we just keep one Llanowar Elves around and get an 8/8 trample down versus this deck list, right? I think that's a little better. And we'll upgrade this, and we'll plug it onto... Maybe we swing. Yeah, what the heck, man? I mean, we're trying to do the aggro thing too here, right? So, might as well. And again, it's like one of those awkward situations where are we anticipating a block next turn or no? So yeah, I think the swing is well worth it. And I think the opponent just takes the 2 here, keeps their otter around because they are also very much trying to do the aggressive thing. All we got to do is keep one Llanowar Elves around and we ramp right into an 8/8 trample, which should be pretty good against Izzet. I don't know if they're rocking tempo, though. If they're rocking tempo, that would be pretty good. Ooh, Dragon Sniper is really good. Guys, we just dump our hand, right? Totally, dear. Totally. Dragon Sniper was a really good draw to help protect against the Slick Shot Show-Off as well. The extra counter is gonna go wide here. Although I wouldn't mind an extra ward cost on the Agonasaur Rex. Just feel like going, well, yeah, no, the extra ward cost, since the opponent only has 2 mana right now, I probably should have done that. But if it was like, if it's like a bounce spell, and it was like a 1 mana bounce spell, they would have had the ward anyways, so. All right, we go for these blocks for sure. If they boost that otter above an 8/8, I mean... then they deserve it. They deserve to take down the Rex if they boost that otter that far, you know? Like it's going to be into the Flood Maw for the Dragon Sniper. But what are they going to do about the otter? That was a pretty good turn for us, right? Yeah, GG opponent. Yeah. Yeah. All right. That that did the thing. Let's keep the ball rolling, huh? I think we can easily keep the ball rolling into some more victories too. I think our biggest threat is nowhere to run. And then the big thing about getting around the nowhere to run, nowhere to run, getting around hexproof and ward, which is a big part of this deck list. The big thing about getting around it is just getting our creatures above the 3 toughness. So we'll see if we can easily do that with cards like Innkeeper's Talent or even, I mean, Snakeskin Veil, you don't got to worry about the hexproof at that point. That just extra counter gets it above the -3/-3 as well, which is hopefully what we can do. Actually, I'd love to see that today. This is a pretty good curve, man. With or without ramp, this is pretty darn good. Do I have Spear? I don't accept that trade. The opponent accepts that trade. I don't think I accept that. Especially since we went first, man. Oh wow, Llanowar Elves. We're gonna stay on task here. Establish Innkeeper's Talent. All right, we get to keep that blocker around too. So it should be all too easy for them to burn the Dragon Sniper away. Looks like that's what they're gonna do. It's too bad we don't have the Surrak down before they decide to do that, right? I swing for 4. We're probably okay. I wouldn't mind. Okay, Snakeskin Veil is pretty good. Wouldn't mind the Surrak, but Lightning Strike exists. At that point, the Surrak would just replace itself. If we go Llanowar Elves, second Innkeeper's Talent, we can boost the Elves to a 3/3. Oh, Innkeeper's Talent on the board already established also helps it get around. This is actually a tough decision because I'd like to still keep the Snakeskin Veil open because we do still see Witchstalker Frenzy. So I'm gonna go for like the oddball play here, I would say, and wait on the Surrak. I hope that's okay. We'll see what happens, man. Against mono red, really depends. Lightning Strike for the Llanowar Elves. So far, the Surrak would have been fine because it would have had 4 toughness. Oh, they forgot to play their other Swift Spear first. That's okay, opponent. I was wondering what the oops was for. Yeah, that happens for sure. All right, Surrak. Now we have Snakeskin Veil open, or we could go extra ward, but Snakeskin Veil is much better against mono red for sure. Over a ward cost. Boost, boost. We're still in danger, though. I think we could easily die next turn, even with the 6/5 Surrak. So let's see what we can pull off here. The biggest thing right now is even with Snakeskin Veil, the 6 toughness Surrak can still easily get wiped out by a boosted Swift Spear. Screaming Nemesis is pretty bad, but that means we're safe from a Swift Spear block, or for a Swift Spear block. Wow, they don't accept that trade. They're waiting to just finish us off next turn. Our date in question is excellent, but it doesn't help us deal with the Screaming Nemesis. But it does, I mean, no matter what, we take out a Swift Spear while we can, right? Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Nemesis is a big problem, though. It's just going to continuously get through. I'm surprised they did not swing with the Nemesis, because they would have had that 3 through for sure. Snakeskin Veil is open. It's an 8/7, and again, Nemesis is just being an excellent blocker for them. How do we get around that? I don't think we do until they swing with it or something. If it's like a second Screaming Nemesis, we're gonna be in danger, bro. They also have Rockface Village over there ready to give some mice haste if they need to. It's gonna be a Manifold Mass. They're just going for Fool Offspring. They're going for the setup this game. Well, that also means that their last card in hand might not be anything too, right? So I don't know what our biggest hope here is with Nemesis on the board. Maybe getting the Surrak so large that we just win on the trample swing, but like how? How would we do that unless we activate both level 3s on the Innkeeper's talents, right? Still gonna save the Snakeskin Veil just in case. Ooh, Defiler. We don't have enough mana for. That kind of sucks, right? Yeah, it definitely does. But that's a pretty good one. More trampling creatures could also help us get there. Surrak is a 12-11. We're waiting for the opponent's setup here to see if they can get that on the swing. Now we want to block the Manifold Mouse as they try to give double strike trample, maybe some boosts. They'll have like 7 getting through on the Swift Spears and the Nemesis without having multiple creatures on the board with the opponent going wide. Yeah, it looks like they're finally gonna take this swing, right? Oh, guys, trample. Guys, trample. Trample only does enough damage. Well, either way, we had to keep a blocker back, right? Right? Wait a minute. Wait a minute, guys. I don't know right now. I don't know. Well, they had a... Wow, they could have put the Monstrous Rage on the double strike creature too, though. If we would have swung with the Surrak a few turns ago, we probably would have died. So we had to keep the blocker. I'm confused. Okay, so Trample does excess damage to the opponent. Okay, right? Let's read that real quick. Deal excess combat damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. So technically, if we swung with Surrak, it only would have done 3 damage to the Nemesis. The excess goes to the opponent's face, right? So did I have any swings that game? I think we would have just died on the backswing is the problem. So we needed to save extra blockers for their extra Swift Spears. I don't know, man. Now I'm wondering if I messed up that game with our trampling Surrak. Let me know in the comments, but that's one I'll probably go back and watch as well. So let's keep the ball rolling, huh? Wow, we're under 20 minutes into the video. We got time for plenty more games, hopefully. Maybe we can fit 3 more in. Easy peasy. Opponent goes first. Yeah. I don't like this. I don't like this, man. I'm gonna keep it though. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Hey, 1 drop. That's what we're talking about, huh? Now we have the option for Herd Heirloom ramp, but it's probably not entirely necessary here. No, my Dragon Sniper. Why? Okay, now it's Herd Heirloom. Oh, Dragon Sniper. Oh, well, it's definitely Herd Heirloom because then we can dump the Dragon Sniper back onto the board too. It's pretty good, man. Now we're ramping into the Surrak, which we won't be able to utilize the haste yet. Unstoppable Slasher. Okay. Yeah. Put the Hunt Collar down. Swing. I should have swung first, but this is also fine. It accomplishes the same thing. Just based on the opponent being tapped out and everything, of course. Except for the Slasher, but that would have been a really good trade for us regardless. Oh no, guys, I'm worried about that screaming Nemesis in the last game. Oh no. Oh no, because every now and then there's like this little nuanced rule. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, trample only does enough to break the toughness. Rest goes to face. Could have potentially been some great swings. Well, no, because then we wouldn't have had any blockers. I'm pretty sure it was totally fine to not. I'm pretty sure, right? Anyway, let's just focus on this game for now, right? This is really sick, isn't it? This is really cool. We can give haste to the Defiler. Unfortunately, they have all that death touch, but do we go for the swing? Or do we wait till next turn? They could easily find some removal. If not, they just trade. Dragon Sniper gets through for 2, Innkeeper's Talent not doing too much. Yeah, this is really cool, but 2 Death Touch creatures over there that are just going to come right back from the grave anyways. I'm going to go no attacks. What we're going to try for... You know what I should have done? Well, first of all, Dragon Sniper. You know what I should have done, though? We should have given haste to the other Dragon Sniper, because we could have swung... hopefully it doesn't come down to 1, but the original thought was, of course, we were going to swing with the Defiler of Vigor, but they just got too good at blockers, right? We would have gotten an extra 4 through. This Surrak does not have Trample, unless we give it Trample with the Herd Heirloom, which would not be terrible at all. Hopefully, we just take the turn for some setup, get the Innkeeper's Talent down, maybe draw an extra card on the Heirloom, and give that Surrak Trample. There's like 1 turn of setup is what we're asking for. Deep Caverbat takes our talent. That's pretty good, because we wanted that talent on the board for sure. More mana's not terrific, guys. So we could full swing. Trample the Surrak. Draw a card. Dude, we're really stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, right? Totally. I'm gonna do it. We're just gonna go for it, man. There, we'll give the Dragon Sniper haste this time round. Let's go for it. They don't know what's in hand. Even so, like, the Dragon Snipers will still be excellent blockers. The Slashers would come back tapped anyways. But if they only blocked with, like, 1 Slasher, for example, and they had the combo in hand with the Demon, then at least the Dragon Snipers, we got 2 of them to still block the Slasher on the ground. But also, our draw could be incredible. Ooh, they keep both Slashers around. We're going to go Trample onto the Surrak. This is great damage for us, guys. Down to 2. They gain 1 up to 3. We draw a card. Agonasaur Rex. Holy cow. I think we keep that for the cycling, right? I think so. Well, no. Hold on. We might need, if they play Swamp Cut Down Demon. Never mind. We would just want to play another creature. We could have paid 2, actually. Wait, we could have done both. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm butchering this game. They dropped the GGs. Hey, good game, opponent. All right. Oh, man. Doing the Stompy thing right now, huh? It's pretty cool, dude. I love boosting these Dragon Snipers. That's so cool, man. Yeah, just 3 keyword abilities. The second you get it above a 1/1 is the second it really starts looking deadly, right? All right, guys. Hey, while I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure to check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. Speaking of supporting the channel, if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing as well, because it really does help out the channel. So thank you, guys. All right, next one. Yeah, dude, we're doing the thing. Feels all right. Feels all right so far. I always have a good time with Mono Green Aggro, though. The big issue right now is just getting around all that spot removal, but also, like, surviving the early turns against the hyper-aggressive deck lists, too. So far, it's okay. I'm still worried about that mono red game. Like, maybe I could have pushed some damage through, but I don't really know. There's a lot of matches by the end of every recording week. There's a lot of games that I like to go back and see, like, oh, what did I miss here? It's usually easier in hindsight to see, like, oh, right there, like that's where I could have swung. But sometimes it's also easier because at that point now we knew what the opponent had in their hand too. So okay, I say we save the hard-hitting question for something a little bit more valuable. And we get a 1-mana Pawpatch Recruit down. Third mana from the opponent. So this could be Izzet Spellslingers easily, right? With Sleight of Hand and some tempo with Into the Floodmaw. Now, even if they do something with our Llanowar Elves, we'll still have 3 mana for the Surrak next turn, which I think would be pretty darn good against Spellslingers, especially one that's rocking tempo. 2 different prowess creatures. I definitely value our creatures more than theirs right now, especially since 3 cards open. Okay, no extra prowess damage. I'm anticipating some spot removal here then, right? Or I guess, yeah, tempo. Bounce spells or something. So hard-hitting question on the Swift Spear wouldn't be terrible. I also don't mind just going like 1 mana Pawpatch Recruit, keeping the cycling open on Agonasaur Rex, which seems like a pretty good draw. But we'll have it next turn if Llanowar Elves gets to stick around. At that point, it's probably just Surrak, make sure our hand can remain nice and stocked up. I'm gonna use the Llanowar Elf mana. I'm not 100% certain why I want to do that, but I want to do that. Okay. Okay. And then we can attempt a hard-hitting question on the Swift Spear, or we could just get another recruit down, and then when they target something, punish them greatly for it, right? So, yeah, I don't mind that. So, I guess we go for the swing too. I guess we could have started with that. No, it's actually a little better. Well, that's a way to get around the targets. Nice, opponent. Shore up. We got to watch out for that, huh? Untaps the creature. Hexproof, +1/+1, plus the prowess ability. Yeah, shore up's no joke. Okay, stock up. Oh, I know. The opponent's deck list is all about up. Okay, now I'm curious. Now I'm curious how many cards have up in it. We'll have to build a whole deck list with just up. Okay, man. We're kind of like... They keep this open. If we have to anticipate another shore up, we might be in some serious danger. If we block, I think it's all too easy for them to also just get around that. Again, without targeting this time. We have to anticipate that. So I think we just take it. Hopefully we're fine. Monstrous Rage is a lot of extra damage. It's 5 extra damage. We'd go down to 6 for the turn. Okay. Down to 11. We're going to try the hard-hitting question this turn. Maybe keep the Rex open with cycling. I'd love to get the 8/8 down, though, but what's stopping them from just bouncing it back to our hand? Oh, we draw on the Surrak and get an extra counter on the Recruit. See, if we hard-hitting question the Swift Spear, and they try to bounce whatever we target with the hard-hitting question, we have the Trample Indestructible. Okay. Okay, hold up now. That's not hexproof, bro. We're just going for the Rex. We're just playing an 8/8. I was, for some reason, I was treating Agonasaur Rex as a really good piece of protection, but it's Trample Indestructible. I don't plan on blocking with the Surrak, so I'm going to try to swing and actually try to start this clock, especially since we have an 8/8 on the board now. Oh, buddy, I hope I'm playing this out well enough for you guys, huh? Still got 2 mana open. I don't think we're gonna die, but if they bounce the Rex, everything gets a boost. And we block like a Swift Spear and they go Monstrous Rage. Okay, we could easily die here. We could easily die, unfortunately. Yeah, Monstrous Rage where they block on the ground. Yeah, they go for the full swing. But it wasn't a bounce for the Rex, which means we do have the block, and we're going to try onto the Swift Spear. At that point, a trade into the Otter. We should try, because they'd have to... Crap, it's not going to be a trade. It's just not, right? Right? Send help, guys. Send help. Analysis paralysis. Slick Shot Show Off. I think we really just have to block because Slick Shot Show Off gets out of hand so fast. I mean, it could end the game on its own here with the right boosts. So, Burst Lightning. Actually, the Otter still might be a trade. Wow, guys, that was not bad for us at all. Yeah, that was not bad for us at all. Okay, we're gonna try the hard-hitting question then. They still got an island open. Guys, are we okay? We're just gonna swing with the Rex because they're still on a clock then. We want to keep Surrak for blocking a hasty creature because they could... We want to keep 2 creatures to block a hasty creature because they can easily drop a hasty creature and remove one of our creatures. So if we swung with the Surrak 2 down to 4, either way, we have them on the clock, and I want to keep 2 creatures open in case they find something here. They're going to fly over it anyways. They could have it. They could have it. Get the good game ready. I think we might have gotten a little lucky here, man. Oh, down to 5. Another show off as a blocker, but trample for days, huh? Full swing. Awesome. GG opponent. Holy cow, dude. Luckily, the deck list knows how to play itself. That's good news, man. That's good news. 31 minutes in. We definitely have time for one more. Let's do it. I'm having a good time with this. Always have a good time with some Mono Green Aggro. Some Surrak Stompy. I feel like I wouldn't mind the 3rd 4-mana Surrak, but I don't have it right now. And I don't know how worth the craft the 3rd one is. You know what I mean? I'm not 100% convinced by it right now. We go first. This is probably pretty bad. But we do have like a potential turn 2 cycling a Rex. You know what? You know what? We're going to try it. The deck list is actually doing the thing. It's performing well enough. I say we push it to its limits, see what we can pull off here. Also, we could draw into a lot of terrific things as well. Also, if we actually successfully ramp, triple Rex could actually end up being amazing. Hard hitting question. All right, we'll just keep the cycling on the Rex open. How you guys feel about that? A hard hitting question isn't terrible. It always comes in handy. Oh. They're not gonna... Okay, I guess on the stack they could still... I'm still gonna cycle. Wow, it wasn't anything for the Llanowar Elves. Wow, okay. Dude, nice. Holy cow. Now we just have a 3/3 Llanowar Elves looking pretty spicy over there, huh? Yeah, we'll give it some ward over the other Llanowar Elves. Although the other Llanowar... Yeah, no. There's no guarantee that it survives anyways, so... Yeah, we're going for the swing. Totally. It's a 4/4 ward 1 now. War Leader's Call. Oh. Okay. We have a moment. We have a moment. Right. We could keep the Rex open. We're probably going to play the other Llanowar Elves. And that's it. We don't have a target for hard-hitting question. I think I'm going to boost the other elf as well. Boosting wide is probably fine. Now I'll go all in on this elf. The elf that's actually swinging. Down to 11. It's a little awkward because we could have just kept the cycling open on the Rex too. Okay, Voice of Victory. Down to 19. It's a 2/4. Sheltered by Ghosts. They don't have the ward, so they got to pick up the 1/1. Oh! The Innkeeper's talent. That's right. Sheltered by Ghost is incredible removal, isn't it? So, ward 2 on the Voice. That's totally worth popping, right? Totally. It's not even a fight too, so they're not going to get the lifelink back. Let's do it. Pay the ward 2. How about we get this back up and then continue to boost the same Llanowar Elf. That's so risky, dude, putting all our eggs onto one Llanowar Elf basket. But I don't know. It's just like what we're up against. I'm kind of getting greedy with it. Another Sheltered by Ghost would be really good for the opponent. Oh, no, it wouldn't actually. Yeah, never. Well, yeah, because they'd be forced into a block next turn now that they're close enough. So I think the big thing here is for us is the fact that Rex also giving trample. So they need, yeah, GG opponent. I mean, they were stuck between a rock and a hard place in no time, missing removal the first couple turns and everything too. Dude. Wow. Let's call it there. Let's end on a high note. We kind of kept a risky hand as well. End of video packs. Ooh, 2 of them, guys. Oh, we don't get 2 end of video packs very often. Let's see what we see. Yeah, my 4th Siegebreaker. Awesome. Now, maybe I can finally visit the Siegebreaker deck list that I made, because I just awkwardly have 3 Siegebreakers in that deck, but it was based around Siegebreaker. And it's just like, should I craft the 4th? Or now I don't have to. Beautiful. Also, Mysterized Village. I keep bringing this up, but you got to keep an eye on this one, man. I really am seeing a lot more counterspells recently. I feel like this can be decent in the right deck list. I think this is my 2nd or 3rd one of those, which is awesome news. Guys, let's go into these final thoughts, the final discussion. I'm impressed. And in my test games for the deck list, it was a little bit back and forth. I probably ended up with like a 50% win rate in the test games or so. But some of them was like, well, first of all, 22 Forest felt pretty good. And in the test games, it was kind of like all over the place. I think that's just Magic the Gathering sometimes, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're just in desperate need for your 3rd mana and you're wondering how the game has gone on 8 turns, but you can't get your 3rd mana down. And then there's other games where you're like, I only have 22 lands. Why do I have 9 of them on the board? Or 9 of them in hand. It's just Magic sometimes, man. I think 22 is pretty good. It felt about right. We got ramp with Herd Heirloom into creatures, right? You can only ramp with creatures into this. And Llanowar Elves, of course, right? Beautiful. Beautiful, excellent ramp, especially when it doesn't get removed, especially if you're protecting it. Snakeskin Veil is protection. Defend the Rider is protection. Ward 1 with this level 2 on Innkeeper's talent is protection. Agonasaur Rex cycling is protection. Be careful. My brain was trying to trick me into thinking that it was also hexproof protection, which it is not. It is trample and indestructible. Just be careful with that, right? And then, you know, on top of all the protection, we're punishing the opponent for targeting our things with Pawpatch Recruit, which also just not only punishing the opponent, but you're getting those counters, which also helps with the ward on the level 2 on Innkeeper's talent. You're punishing the opponent with Surrak, the elusive hunter here, by replacing whatever they're killing on your board with some cards draw, which is well, whatever creature they're killing on the board, right? So I don't know, man. It makes a lot of sense here. So yeah, I don't like how I rearranged this at all. Hold on. All 4 hard-hitting questions for a very good reason. There's not a lot of removal packed in. This is your removal. You're going to appreciate when you see this. You're not going to be mad seeing multiples of this, right? The only time you're not going to enjoy seeing hard-hitting question is if for some reason you just don't have any creatures. And again, we just showed why we should have some creatures, why we should actually be able to keep something on the board at any given time. The other times where you're going to be sad about seeing hard-hitting question is if the opponent's just growing the creatures well beyond what your hard-hitting question can actually do. Dragon Sniper, hi, Death Touch, right? So even if they do have the biggest and chunkiest creature and maybe you don't have your Rex on the board, right? Death Touch on the Dragon Sniper. And we got to talk about this again, man. Vigilance Reach Death Touch. Yeah, the only downside is it's a 1/1. That's it. But in this deck list, it's not going to be a 1/1 for long. Maybe it's a recruit boost. Maybe it's a Snakeskin Veil boost. Maybe it's an Innkeeper's talent boost. Agonasaur Rex, cycling boost, right? It's just not going to be a 1-1 for long, and the more the Dragon Sniper grows, the more deadly it becomes, because Vigilance is no joke when everyone's trying to swing all the time, no matter what. I mean, even I can't think of a deck list outside of the Jace Mill deck lists, right? That aren't swinging. So, and or like think of the mid-range deck lists that generate flying tokens and stuff. This has reach too, so you're still able to swing in, and you're still able to block all their flyers. So the more you boost this, the better it gets. It's crazy, dude. I really like this. And in the right build, I could easily see this being an MVP, and against the right build as well, right? So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. This was awesome, dude. Defiler of Vigor is a 5-mana 6/6 with trample. As an additional cost to cast a green permanent spell, or cast green permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Those spells cost 1 green less to cast. If you paid life this way, this effect reduces only the amount of green mana you pay. Now, whenever you cast a green permanent spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So another way to put counters onto things. This also lets us boost a wide board state. This lets us dump all of our 1-drops out of hand, which actually could really come in handy. It doesn't have to be a 1-drop though, because Herd Heirloom could also help us ramp into some of those as well. So Defiler acting as like a top-end chunky creature, 6/6 tramples, no joke, potentially giving it haste with something like Surrak too, right? Boosting our creatures wide, helping us dump our hand onto the board, which hopefully we're keeping our hand stocked with cards like Surrak and Herd Heirloom bottom ability, hopefully helping us keep our hand nice and stocked too. A lot of great synergies here, man. I really liked this. This was fun. Yeah. But I should say again, I don't like bringing up test games very often, because I usually change a lot, and I did change a few things since the test games, so it could have just made the deck list that much better too when I did those changes. But I don't like bringing them up often, but I will say I'm thoroughly impressed with what we did in the video, way more than the test games. The test games were fine. What we pulled off in the video was excellent. So, okay. Yeah, I think that's it, man. I don't know. I feel like the games kind of showcased the deck list more than what I could actually say here in the final thoughts anyways. I wanted to make sure we read through the Defiler, because I didn't at the beginning of the video, right? Just one of those things. It's been around for so long. I try to just go over the main concept of the deck, and the new cards as well is kind of important to read over. The level 3 on the Innkeeper's talent. Yeah, it's not going to be unheard of to spend 4 mana on this. The big downside, of course, is, the Herd Heirloom only ramping into creatures means if we see multiple heirlooms, it feels like it kind of tricks your brain into thinking like, man, I have so much mana. But realistically, you're only spending your lands to spend the 4 on the bottom ability on the Innkeeper's talent, or Llanowar Elves too, right? But yeah, it'll come in hand. Actually, just like in general, Innkeeper's talent was excellent today, wasn't it? So I don't think you'll be mad about that. And we have to like pose the question, does that mean we want 4 of them? I could easily see 4. I could, but I also think 3 is a sweet spot too. If you drop something else, maybe it would be that Herd Heirloom down to 2, go up the Innkeeper's talent, and you can kind of keep an eye on your collection, because maybe you don't want to spend a wild card on your 3rd heirloom, but you already got 2 of them, and you already have the Innkeeper's talents anyways laying around. Then just go up the Innkeeper's talent. You'll be fine. Speaking of which, guys, do you want to put this on the do not craft list? I'd say this one easily belongs on the craft a little less based on your collection list, right? So I can't tell you not to craft it, because I had a freaking blast with it, dude. This was a lot of fun. But there are a lot of rares in here too, so there's cards that you just don't have to craft, and you just want to just look at your collection and say, what can I add instead? Like Defiler of Vigor probably isn't worth the craft, but it's a really neat top end. Just go up a chunky creature that you do have. You do not have to craft this, right? And that's a similar concept when you're doing other trade outs here too. Just keep an eye on what you're trading out based on like the mana curve and everything too. We're heavily leaning into the 1-drops for a reason. We want to try to play multiple things on the same turn. This deck list was trying its best to play around Momentum Breaker and everything too, and other sacrifice spells. You want a lot of creatures on the board at any given time, so a lot of 1-drops for a very good reason. I brought this up in the past, but boy, Pawpatch Recruit was such a worthwhile craft for me, and I think it would be for a lot of you guys too, if you're an aggro player. The amount of deck lists I have found to squeeze this little bunny rabbit into, I mean, you guys know already how many lists I've played Pawpatch Recruit in, so I'd say this is a worthwhile craft, man. And I don't say that about very many cards. I'm always like very iffy. Well, here's where it's not a worthwhile craft. If you never play green, if you don't play green, why? Why? Green's fun, man. But no, like, why would you craft Pawpatch Recruit? Of course, but so many deck lists that this belongs into, so many that you could potentially just squeeze it into just because. Just because it's a good creature, man. All right, enough rambling about the Pawpatch Recruit. There's also just like other budget-friendly cards in here. Dragon Sniper from the new set is just an uncommon, hard-hitting question. Uncommon for Defend the Rider. Llanowar Elves is common, right? I got to stop playing with the fancy pants version of Llanowar. Yeah, Llanowar Elves should be a common, I hope. And then Snakeskin Veil is just a common as well. Everything else being rare. And again, just you don't have to craft the Defiler, but maybe you already had a couple laying around and you were looking for a deck list to squeeze them into. I think this deck list would work well. I think I brought this up somewhere in the middle of the video somewhere, right? I said like, oh, the third Surrak, the Hunt Caller could be cool, but I don't have the third one. I'm not convinced that we need the third one. But maybe you have the third one. That's another one. You could go up that and drop one of the other rares that you don't have, right? So I recently crafted the 4th Agonasaur Rex because I mentioned somewhere in the past that there were going to be other deck lists where I want all 4 Rex. I think that this is one of those deck lists, man. But let's say you only got 3. That's fine. Just play the 3, go up something else. I would recommend some other form of removal. Wouldn't be terrible. You know what's it's a funny one, actually. The Overprotect. Where is it? There it is. Overprotect. Target creature you control gets +3/+3, trample, hexproof, and indestructible. I actually really like this, man. So that could be like a budget trade up if you drop an Agonasaur Rex or 2, but hopefully you're going to have creatures on the board to actually overprotect anyways. If you do drop a creature, you should probably go up some other creatures. I just wanted to bring up Overprotect real quick. Okay, guys, enough rambling, huh? Holy cow, I had a lot to say, I guess. A lot more than I thought. I was like, yeah, the games showcased the deck list beautifully, and then here I go. I ramble and ramble, huh? Dude, if you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. Let me know what you thought of the deck list down in the comments. Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Because I really enjoyed this one. All right, that's everything. I will see you in the next video.